Hey guys, I'm Jade Hunting for Photo Factor. Welcome to episode 4 in this 4-part series of chapter 4 of working with adjusting the quality of your image. As promised, in this episode, I'm going to show you how to work with adjustment layers, which is actually going to be a real game changer for you. This is radically going to affect how your workflow looks, and it's a much smarter, intelligent way of working. So let's start straight in and let me show you what I'm talking about. And so we back to this image of our juicy burger, but note here now we've got a separate image sitting on top of the burger layer. So if we head on over to layers, let's just expand this and pop that in there. Let's expand the layer box. Right, so we can see we've got the two layers here. We've got a background layer and we've got layer 1. Let's rename this layer to Exploded Burger. And so when you want to add an adjustment layer, you make sure that you have got the layers selected above which you want to add your adjustment layer. And then bearing in mind that the adjustment layer will affect all the layers beneath it, not only just the exploded burger layer. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You head on over down to this icon over here, which looks like a half white, half black circle, and click on that, and you'll notice a whole bunch of options here, which we also found. Let's just click off that a second. Just take a note at some of these adjustments. There's brightness and contrast, there's vibrance, there's hue and saturation, and you'll notice a couple of other options here, which are also all up top here under image adjustments. You see these? They look familiar, right? It's the same menu options over here. So let's say, for example, we wanted to turn this into a black and white image. Not really sure why we would want to do that with food, but just to illustrate the point, we head on over here to black and white, click on that, and notice that immediately the properties of this adjustment layer spring into view. Bearing in mind that if we were to choose a hue and saturation adjustment layer, the properties menu here would look different. This pertains specifically to black and white. I just want to close this here for a second. So, albeit that we have a new layer created here, this is an adjustment layer, and so any of the adjustments we make here is not doing it directly to the layer. It's doing it on this smart layer that sits above the actual layer. There is no image content sitting within this layer itself. And so now if you can't find the properties menu, remember we closed it a few moments ago, you just head on over here. It's this icon over here. If you hover over it long enough with your cursor, it will tell you it's the properties icon. Click on that and your properties window will open up again. And there's a whole bunch of ways here you can adjust how a black and white image would appear. Let's just close this again slightly. Let's make this a little bit smaller just so that we can see better. So overall, it's quite dark, right? Notice here there's an option to adjust different filters on the black and white. So for example, if we want to pump up the reds a little bit, all we need to do is slide that over and all the reds go a bit brighter. We want to maybe darken, bring out the lettuce a little bit, make that a little bit lighter, and so on and so forth. You can play on your own image and just see what this does for you. There's also options here where you can add maximum black. Oh, way too dark, right? But you can then, once you've chosen that, still make adjustments. You can go to maximum white, maybe a bit bright. You can still make adjustments. Or you can even add a tint. Good old sepia tone. And so other ways you can make little adjustments, right, whilst you're here in black and white, is say you wanted to make the meat of the hamburger appear a little bit less dark than what it's appearing in the image, but you're not sure what tone that would fall under. Is it red? Is it yellow? Is it orange? You don't know. So you can again go over to this little icon over here, which is the targeting tool. Click on that. Notice it becomes dark around. This little border appears. Head on over to the burger. If you click on that, it's telling me that it's falling pretty much within the red tonal range. Notice the red slider moving, right? But so is the wood, so it would be adjusting that as well. And so once we're happy with that, we can just close the properties panel. And remember I said now this black and white adjustment layer is sitting right on top, and so both layers beneath it are affected. What if I just wanted to affect the bottom layer? Well, then all I need to do is just click, hold, and drag beneath that layer, and it will only affect the very bottom layer. And this top layer will remain unaffected. Assuming we're happy with that, we head on over to File, we go down to Save As, and give it a title that you're happy with. In this case, we're going to call it Black and White. Notice, because now we have got layers, it's going to default to a file option format entitled Photoshop. This is great. This is exactly what you want, because Photoshop is a file type that allows you to save layers. And this is a useful way to save, because perhaps you want to come back to the file at a later stage and make some further adjustments. So you don't want to be flattening the image. Make sure the layer box is ticked as it is here by default. And once you're happy with that, you just hit save, hit OK, and boom. And there you have it. There I've shown you 4 really simple ways of how you can make significant adjustments to an image and make it pop and look so much better than what it might have looked straight out of camera. If you've gotten value out of these tutorials, please do give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, and stay tuned for many more tutorials coming your way. See you then.